Manchester United are reported to have stepped up their pursuit of Zinedine Zidane. They're hoping to persuade the Frenchman to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And when you see his managerial record, you can understand why he is said to be the chosen one if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is to depart the club. Jan and Jules now with us to talk about this one. So Jules, last time we spoke to you about this, you said that Zidane wasn't interested. Has something changed?
Not really, no. The thing is, like the article in the Sunday Times here in the UK said it this morning, United are hoping to be able to convince him or to persuade him, that's the word they use in the article, to maybe accept the challenge. So it's far from certain that they can do that. They're hoping that Cristiano and Varane, being in the United squad now, having worked under Zidane, of course, in those glorious years at Real Madrid, can help convince him to come over. But the kind of issues stay the same. He doesn't speak the language, and for him, this is a huge problem because a lot of his management is about the man management. So you have to be close to your players, to your dressing room. If you don't speak the language already, it's a problem. Two, he was never took in, even as a player, to manage in England. I don't think he thinks that the style and the sort of rhythm suits him that well. And two, and three, sorry, the most important really is that he's waiting for the France job, which is his dream job, which he knows will be his once Deschamps steps down, whether that's after the World Cup, so that he could just have to wait 11 months now or 12 months, or after 2024 Euros. But there's no point coming to a job now or soon and sign a 3-year deal or 3.5-year deal or 2.5-year deal if in a year's time you will want to leave that job to go and get the France job. So there's still a lot of obstacles, I think, for Zidane to arrive at Old Trafford. But of course, you can always convince people with a lot of persuasion, a lot of zeros on the checkbook, and I guess having Cristiano and Varane can potentially help you, but it would be far from easy to do.
Yeah, three good reasons that Jules did give there as to why he wouldn't be interested in it. But
yeah,
they did mention...
Go then. Let's go to a break.
You've got players like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Line the break up, roll the break.
Rafael Varane, he's won big with those players before. Can you see him coming in at Manchester United?
Hold on. He has won big with Rafael Varane.
Multiple times.
And many others who were actually very good and were serial winners. Look, I can't repeat what Joe said because every time I've been on this show in the last 18, 24 months discussing where Zidane might have gone, where he might go, England was never an option, no matter if it was Chelsea coming up or Liverpool or United or anybody. And it comes back to the same thing. Does he want to live in rainy Manchester? Probably not. He doesn't speak the lingo at all, probably apart from the real basics. So as Joe said, that's a major issue. And he's waiting on a much bigger cake, which is the French job. So I just don't see how. And how is it going to be a few extra? Surely he doesn't need a few extra pounds here or there. You know, that's not going to. He's not a guy, it seems to me, that's going to do something for the money. He's going to do it if he thinks it's right for him. And not that Man United are not right for him, but they'll put the whole package together. And I just don't see how it's going to change.
A manager won titles at Real Madrid. Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
But like the way that Zidane did it, though, and how he did it.
And it was his Champions League as well.
Yeah.
But look, Zidane was great. But he was great because it was his old club. He came into a situation where he was able to re-spark something, which is excellent. But all the points that Jules made and Craig just made, it makes things significantly more difficult for him at Manchester United. Do you want to go into a situation where you have to be working through translators, doing something with still one eye on something else? When were Manchester their most successful? When was Arsenal the most successful? When you have a manager that is there for a long period of time and you have this level of stability. You bring in a guy that's already thinking, it's a stopgap until this becomes available, and I'm not really sure I want to do it in the first place. Well, there's your answer if you're Manchester United.
Just before we go to the guys, I think the fact that we're on an international break and these stories are leaking out is, and look, you know where I stand on the Man United manager, but this is not good. This is not good. It's not good. Well, it's not good for Solskjaer. I think his days are probably going to be numbered anyway. But it's just not a good look all round for Man United. The way that they're sort of sitting on their hands, unable to make a decision, potentially talking to people. Things are getting leaked. Brendan Rodgers, Zinedine Zidane, they're looking around. They've got a manager. They've got a manager. It's their choice. They've chosen to stick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They have to start doing things properly. Manchester United have to start making sure they do their business properly. I know it's an international break, but this is not a good look. These leaked stories about trying to persuade people to come to this football club. It's just not a good look.
Does that show then, Jan, that support is actually weighing in for Solskjaer, the fact that we are seeing stories like this in the international break?
Well, yeah. If you see the story how it developed today in the social media, was quite interesting. At the end, English media, German media was quoting English media. Then English media quoted German media on their own quotings. And of course, I agree with Craig. The last weeks, and we can talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is probably the beginning of the end of his range at Manchester United. But the last couple of weeks, I think, has been embarrassing for all the people in and around the club that has been leaking stories. This and that was going on. And I think this with Zidane is what it is. It's something they just come up with. He's the best available manager now. He got Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo there. Everybody knows that he can't speak English and he wants to have the French job, and so on and so on. So after I knew that we were going to speak about this today, I spoke to someone at the club, and it was not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And then they said there was no chance that this was going on. There is no chance that they know Manchester United trying to convince a manager who doesn't speak the language to come to England and do the Manchester United job. And if we were in the management of Manchester United, then if you take a manager on now, you need someone who can, first of all, be a man manager, talk with the players, be close on them, try to change the style of playing in the middle of the season. How can Zidane do that? Having said that, Casey, I would just say that sometimes we talk about Zinedine Zidane, what he did at Real Madrid. That was just something he did while passing in and around the club. He has a fantastic record at Real Madrid, and you can compare him with some of the best managers at Real Madrid.
But I think that's why Brendan Rodgers' name has sort of been raised quite a few times. I'm not saying he's the best, greatest manager out there who they should go for. But in terms of who's available, United have sat in their hands, and Conte's went somewhere else, and Pochettino's gone to PSG. Allegri's gone back to Juventus. Not to say that's the right choice, but these were all experienced managers that were out there at one point, and United chose to stick with what they had. And now they are potentially, and I'm sure they're having a conversation behind the scenes, they're potentially looking around at what the alternatives may be, and I think Brendan Rodgers' name has popped up. Now, there's a Liverpool connection, and I get all that, and they didn't win the league, but he actually, and I know one or two don't like him, but I think if you look at his career and you study it, fantastic at Swansea, really good at Liverpool up until they capitulated, but they should have won the league. They played some great football, huge success at Celtic, and there'll be people out there that say, Celtic, Scottish football, easy to win. No. What's happened to Celtic since Brendan Rodgers left? Rangers have taken over. They were winning everything. Goes to Leicester, builds a good squad there with good recruitment, and have been competitive and have won the FA Cup. And I think what United might be doing is saying, look, this might not be the ideal scenario for us, but we have a guy here who has proven himself, at least, and that might put us in a better footing than where we are at the moment. And I think that's why we're seeing Brendan Rodgers' name mentioned. And it's been mentioned because I think they know deep down they're not going to get Zidane.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.